What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. Tapping back in, man, and you see we're talking about D-rugs, right? We're talking about nitrous, ketamine, for research purposes, for news purposes. Real talk, like not just saying that. You know how cats say that to cover their arse, but nah, like seriously, we gotta talk about these D-rugs, man, because any of y'all out there that rock with me, that fluck with me, that have tapped in, to the content that I put out over the years, whatnot, y'all know I'm always urging everyone to put them D-rugs down. It's mad dangerous out here. Toxic poison, synthetic research chemicals, all kinds of ish. Like, not even joking, but it sounds funny. Like I always say, it ain't the good old days. Not that it was good for people to be running around de-rugged up for years, but I'm just saying that's truly what it was then, as opposed to now that motherfuckers could be getting high for years. Is, like, long as they was managing their dose, whatnot, and for the most part be all right. I mean, their life would fall apart in shambles all around them, and it was never the way to go. Like, letting an addiction tear you down and destroy your life, your family's life, everyone around you, friends, everyone just losing respect for you. It's not the way to go, but it's just different these days, man. You know what I mean? And we're always typically talking about all this synthetic poison killing everyone, all this trank and Fenty Wap and all that ish. But right now, we're talking about nitrous, like I said. Now, it's so wild. Just the other day, a week or two ago, we saw this story break, a couple updates on it, where Kanye West's former chief of staff, I guess, I don't want to say a glorified assistant dissonant man, but something like that, I think, had put it out there that him and Ye had fell off. He wasn't a part of Team Ye anymore, and he was dropping these receipts exposing this dentist to the stars, Thomas Connolly, who not only was a dirty D-rug pusher taking advantage of Ye's addiction, but also, dude was putting it out there that, in his opinion, this dentist was on some bull-ish, you know what I mean, trying to take advantage of African-American celebrities and sell them fake jewels in their teeth, like selling fake grills and just beat them in the head, you know what I mean? Like, just a all-around bad dude. Like, all I want to do, in this dentist voice, not me, you feel me? But according to this assistant, like, all this dude want to do is give people fake ass diamond grills and get them all drugged up and drain their pockets. And you see he dropped these receipts, showing that Kanye was spending like $20K a month on nitrous. There was a video where Nitrous was talking about, Ryan Garcia, I'm on the nitrous out here. He was talking about Ye's just mental faculties were shot. He wasn't himself. He felt his work ethic and work, like music, beats, all that he was doing had went downhill, in his opinion, you know what I mean? He said he had been with Ye for the longest time, Billy Joel voice, and ever since he's all nitrous out, everything's just going bad. And when he, came at him about it, Ye tripped and flipped on him, and it wasn't the reason they fell out, right? But one of the reasons, that he's just in this full-blown nitrous addiction. And he said he had let the feds know, he had let the medical board out there in Cali know, the dentist board, and, he's trying to do something about this dentist to the stars. And then now, at the same damn time, we're seeing reports coming out. This report is from Baller Alert, who's saying there's an uptick in nitrous abuse above the youth. And that ass, I never knew. Like, don't get me wrong, I seen nitrous growing up. They used to sell it, like some cats I knew who were just burnt out or whatever. Like, no question, I've done a whippet or two in my life, you know what I'm saying? And, I knew of cats that were like the type that would be doing dust, or them type of individuals that were always burnt out, would go to the porno store and, comment if the adult book movie store around your way sold nitrous, right? Where it was like the cracker in balloons, and you fill them up and motherfuckers be huffing the nitrous and whatnot. I forget how much it was. I believe it was relatively cheap. And of course, nitrous is known when it comes to the concert culture and all that, but I never knew of nitrous to be like super popular or super addictive, or like we're hearing about almost like a mini EPI-demic. Like, comment if y'all been seeing this. Is Nitrous taking over? And it's saying recently there has been, this is baller alert, recently there has been an uptick in the usage of Whippets in teenagers. The term is commonly used to describe the recreational use of nitrous oxide. Most times people dismiss Whippets as a harmless party drug. Now, I got to stop there and say, you could kind of throw me in that category where, don't get me wrong, D-rugs are bad. It is what it is. You know, I don't advocate for anyone to pick anything up, and, you know, being clean, sober, like just pushing that kind of lifestyle, clear-minded is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get in that boat where you're using ish, you're always going to kind of want to pick up over the years, or you'll be more inclined to try other things. It just is what it is, and you're never quite exactly the same. You know, if I could literally take it all back and never pick a thing up in my life, you best believe that's what it would be. But, you know, with everything that I've seen around, I'd be one of those people that would look at nitrous as, I don't want to say 100% harmless, but relatively harmless, you know, like it's a party D-rug. Like, I just never looked at it as the type of thing that people would be habitually using, because that's what they're saying is, if you're on this ish hard body karate doing it all the time, like, you're going to have brain damage. In my Eminem voice, remember that? Brain damage ever since the day I was born. Drugs is what they used to say I was on. Remember that joint? Like people were just doing nitrous like 3-4 days out the week. Like, I don't know, I thought nitrous was something like LSD acid, you know. Like, I never, like, don't get me wrong, I've known cats that wanted to trip and do acid like all the time, but very few people. Most people like once a year, a couple times in a lifetime, like an experimental type thing, you know what I'm saying? To knock the cobwebs up out your head, or go on a spiritual journey or something like that. And we got to point out, when I was talking about all this dirty ish out here and research chemicals and whatnot, LSD acid is definitely something that's like that. You know, again, I'm not advocating for anyone to ever do this. We're talking about this research reasons, news reasons, like safety reasons, just talking about society, life, etc. I'm not advocating for anyone to pick up no acid. But I looked at these, like, not in the same boat, but a similar type deal, where it's just not something people would do all the time. But apparently that's what is being reported, allegedly is going on, where it's becoming a habitual thing for the youth. Again, comment, everyone, your thoughts, your opinion, what you've seen in your lifetime, or what you've seen around your way, wherever you're at. Like, let's talk about it all in that comment thread. And if you're new, make sure to sub up in all that. As always, this is Jay Coffee. We talk it up on music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. And it's all about hearing from y'all, the people. But continuing on, most people dismiss Whippets as a harmless party D-rug. However, the inhalation of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas, can have major consequences, bringing on significant health risks that can lead to fatal consequences. If you are not up to date on what Whippets are, the D-rug is contained in small metal canisters filled with gas. These canisters are typically used in culinary to dispense things like whipped cream, pause. But recently they have become popular for the feeling they create. When inhaled, nitrous oxide can cause a temporary euphoric high, which can bring on lightheadedness and disassociation. Unfortunately, teens nowadays have underestimated the dangerous effects that are coupled with the gas. So again, I looked at it as something like that. Like, yeah, I tried it. Yeah, I've seen it around. Yeah, people have huffed it. A lot of people, I'm sure, have tried, like, huffed a Whippet or whatever. But, like, you're skied for, like, what, 20 seconds? Unless you go hard body and then you get stuck for a minute. But I just can't. Like, really, is this what it is nowadays? Is this what cats are doing? Are sitting there huffing on nitrous for hours straight, days straight? Like, are people binging out? Like, you know, they're firing up the stem. but it's nitrous balloons. Like, is this what's really going on in 2024? Tap in, y'all. While nitrous oxide is legally used for medical care, such as anesthesia, if mishandled, the gas can bring on several health complications. And you know what? Now that I'm reading this, it's got me thinking, man, how did the PORNO store sell nitrous? Isn't that illegal? I wonder if they still do, man. I just was talking to someone from back home. I gotta tap in and see if that's still going on, man. Where were we? Okay, while nitrous oxide is also legally used for medical care, such as the gas can bring several health complications. Inhaling nitrous oxide can deprive the brain of oxygen and lead to a condition called hypoxia, which causes permanent brain damage. That's why we was just talking about that M song, brain damage, or death. Man, can y'all imagine that? Going to a funeral, man, what happened? It was an OD. Word, what were they? That Fenty Wap got him? Nah. They did too much yay and their heart exploded. Like, nah, what happened? They took too many Xans and fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into a ditch or hit an oil tanker and it blew up. Nah, B, they were out here nitrousing it up, got hypoxia and their brain just shut down on them. Like, is that what it is? Regarding short-term effects, the gas can cause dizziness, confusion, and loss of motor control. But repeated use can result in nerve damage, memory loss, and psychiatric disorders. Damn. To read the rest, log on to Baller Alert. So that's all we're going to read. What are people saying? Weed and Don Julio, not enough. Day cool. I'm glad this skipped millennials. So people, when someone says weed and Don Julio, not enough, like, again, not advocating for anyone to use, but I was always the kind of cat, and, you know, again, everyone get clean, put the ish down, but we're just talking here. Weed, still to this day, right? I hit a L, I'm twisted. I'm gonna need to go to the psych ward or something, especially now with this high power bud, man. Especially if you live in a city where they got the dispensaries all over and it's recreationally legal and all that. They got some other ish out here. They're splicing it up and, you know, doing all this scientific ish and just putting out these crazy strands that have you flucked up, man. The weed is stronger than ever. But, you know, I was just like always the type that's seen a lot of people and what weed does for them. Like, it was like their medicine. Like, damn, why could the weed never be like that for me? And it's like, yo, that's enough, man. Like, just like dude was saying, weed and Don Julio, not enough. Like, and don't get me wrong, alcohol is a whole nother story. It's like a drug all in itself. Some people, alcohol can be like a curse to them. And, you know, don't get me started talking about that. But I'm saying, like, a couple tokes off a blunt or a bong hit and a shot ain't enough, or a shot or two ain't enough. 2 brewskis in a shot, like, yo, moderation, man, if you are gonna go that route. And like, see, that's someone looking at this sensically, right? Like, yo, like, what's going on, man? You know, like, if you get to that point where you're trying all this extra ish, like, nip it in the butt ASAP and get yourself some help, man. Because the more and more you dig that hole, it's just a boat you don't ever want to get in, is what I'm getting at, you know. And if there's anyone out here that happens to hear this last this long, you know, through the video, as people are always telling me, Coffee, you talk too long. But that's just the type of content I make, right? Maybe, but, you know, if someone does hear this, like, if you have experimented with shit or you're using some ish and it's some ish not to be flucked with, and you're able to pick it up and put it down and stuff like that and walk away from it, stop it while you can. Because I guarantee you, if you keep going that route, it ain't going to be that way. It will get a hold of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. It's just facts. You know what I mean? It's just all bad. But yeah, man, I just seen all this and was like, man, I got to tap in with the people out there. Like, is that what's really going on? Is nitrous really becoming a mini epidemic? You know what I mean? Like, will something come of this? Like, we just saw the whole thing go down with Matthew Perry and the whole ketamine ish, right? and those doctors got charged. And they should, man. Fuck those foul ass doctors. You know, these doctors do a lot of bullish out here. That includes medications. You heard? Those are drugs as well. Use less than you can if you do need meds. And you know what I'm saying? I got a phone call and lost my train of thought, man. Plucked me all up, but medications, all that. Y'all just do less as possible, man. Don't go that route. Don't get me started on the prescription ish. You heard? These doctors be doing a lot of dirt and they don't get held accountable a lot. You know, like there was a whole agenda, a whole plan put in place with the opiates and all that. And, you know, listen, we seen with the Matthew Perry ish, they had this man all ketamined up. We're selling him big ass packs of ketamine, bragging to each other. Let's see how much we can get out of this moron, you know, and sold them tiny amounts of ketamine for thousands. You know what I mean? I think all in all, like 40K they bled him out of. This only went on a couple of months and the man ended up dead. You know, like that's a prime example of where long-term addiction and use will take you. As Matthew Perry, you've been getting high for years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got clean sometimes, but when you jump back into it, you jump right back into it. But at the end of the day, man, those doctors are partially responsible, you know, for his death, and it's a good thing they're charged, and you know the authorities put that case together. But with this ish with Kanye West with the nitrous, you know what I mean? Like, is that having influence over the youth? If this is indeed true, that it's becoming a more popular, like some kind of trend, and you know the Fed should charge this dude. You know, like, what are they going to do? Wait till, if it is indeed that bad where Ye's falling apart, like, are they going to wait till this man's have brain dead or DEAD or whatever? Like, charge this man now, you know what I mean? Like, the assistant was dropping receipts, and you know, he definitely seems open to cooperating with the authorities to lock this motherfucker up. But I don't know, man. This ish was just wild to me, and I had to tap in with y'all out there and see what everyone thinks about this whole nitrous ish and the dangers and the reports of it becoming more popular and just everything else we touched on in this video. I thank y'all for watching. Look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. And once again, it's Coffee signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, fluck with me, hit the like, but more importantly, join the discussion. I'm going, y'all. Peace.